is Mazi Ezoka. It has been a long journey from the time of the 2023 election till now. The election, as many of you know, was compromised, especially the presidential election. Beyond that, many have argued that if this election that was compromised, if the confidence is not restored, that there are going to be bound to be consequences regarding the election of 2023. Some have argued that the consequences will have international dimension, while some argue that within Nigeria, the younger ones who came out in droves in mass to vote for the first time, that it will be very hard to convince them that there is anything in stock for them within Nigeria. Now, to have a broader look at this, to have a look at the consequences of a rigged election on Nigerians' future and its international implication, I have with me here in the studio Rabbi Chinedu Nwabunne Yanum. Rabbi, you're welcome to Njenje Media. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Now, without wasting any of our time, can we quickly dive into the 2023 election? In your view, do you think that that election lived up to expectation as to what people would have been expecting?
Before I start, let me give praise to God that I have today. Shema Israel, Yahweh Aleinu, Yahweh Echad. Okay, now that I have acknowledged the name of God, our Creator, I can now talk about election, because it's the living that talk about election. The election, this election that just happened, we call it election, but if you look at it very well, it is not an election, it's a coup d'etat. It's a coup d'etat because the Constitution of Nigeria made it clear about the process and the procedure of producing a Nigerian president. The Constitution made it clear that you must have 25% in the federal territory as Abuja. The current occupant, Mr. President Bola Tinubu, because I have to call him that because according to scholars, after 7 days, a coup is considered successful, and it's more than 7 days that President Bola Tinubu took power. So I have to acknowledge him as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But nonetheless, it's a coup d'etat. It's a coup d'etat. You don't have to kill somebody for you to call it a coup. Please, I want the audience to go to the dictionary or go online and search the word coup d'etat. What is a coup d'etat? When a clique of politicians come together, or military officers, and push the government, by design. So what just happened is a coup d'etat, and it is bound to have serious consequences. This is not the first time it happened in Nigeria. In 1993, late Moshood Abiola was asked to implement Sharia if he wins. He refused. When he won the election, he wasn't given the presidency. Now, before this 2023 election, the governor of Bauchi State said that the intent of the Muslim North, he made it clear on national TV that the intent of the Muslim North is to bring all the Fulanis to Nigeria. Nobody is against Fulanis coming to Nigeria. John is to bring all the Fulanis to Nigeria. The population of the Fulani is about 40 to 45 million people. If you bring 45 or 40 or 45 million people in a country where one man has one vote, what effect will it have on other citizens? To use Ruga to implement it didn't work. He tried many ways, it didn't work. Some law-abiding Nigerians are in IDP camp as I speak, and are being displaced by people that are not Nigerians, people that don't even speak English, they are French-speaking country. So it's a big problem. So installing somebody who didn't win the election because he might help to implement it, or whether it will help or not, but Mr. P2B, we know is not going to agree to such an agenda. I don't know whether President Bola Tinubu will agree to it or not, but I know since he's a Muslim, for that. No, so it's going to be a serious issue. And if you look at the swearing-in ceremony, the swearing-in ceremony of President Bola Tinubu, it was like a military affair, and have been displaying power after winning the presidency. According to INEC, he didn't move to Aso Rock, he moved to Defense House. This is the first time I heard about Defense House.
No, but
so he's trying to show power,
sorry,
so that nobody should riot, nobody should do anything.
No, may I interject here? Moving to State House has always been the ritual for anyone who is president-elect. So it didn't start with Bola Tinubu. Go ahead. I just wanted to put that out there.
But if you pay attention to what has been happening since his election of victory, is not a victory because once a queue is more than 7 days, it's considered his name going to be on the list. Nigeria, in Anambra State, I think Chris Oba or one of them was the governor of Anambra State for 14 days, and he's listed as a governor of the state. So it doesn't matter whether he stays there 1 week or 2. He has been a president, he has been sworn in. So we must recognize that and recognize him as a president. But what just happened was a coup d'etat. So we have to recognize it too, that it was not a democratic process, it was a coup d'etat. A successful one.
Okay. Obviously, you are making an allegation. You are alleging that what happened wasn't an election, that what happened was a coup d'etat. But many will tell you that by INEC's, electioneering process, that a winner emerged. You have put up an argument here. You talked about the 25% Abuja FCT, but I will also make you, and I also recall that the Abuja resident case, which I attended the court 9, couple of days at the Federal High Court Abuja, where they made an argument that the Federal High Court should help them interpret as residents of Abuja that if you do not score 25% according to Nigerian law as amended, that you're not going to be president. But the court actually fined the lawyer on a couple of grounds. One of them is on locus standi, and the other is also on the abuse of court processes. So if some people who were aggrieved have gone to court and the court rejected it, and the court fined the lawyer that actually brought the case before the court, now what are you then, having seen all this, are you still going back to insist that Tinubu's presidency remains a coup d'etat, as if I may borrow your language?
What you have to do, you don't have to borrow my language. What you have to do is go to the dictionary and look up the definition of a coup. Go to the internet or go to the dictionary and find the definition of a coup. When a clique of people takes power that doesn't belong to them, it's what is called is the coup. Nigerians have the notion that you have to be a military to plan a coup. That's what is called palace coup. What just happened is what is called palace coup. And it's a successful one because it's more than 7 days. So I'm not the one saying it's a coup d'etat. That's what the dictionary says. Now, you mentioned about Abuja residence case. The judge, a single judge, is not superior to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Abuja judge didn't say that 25 is not 25. He may talk about local standing or, whether the person has local standing or not. But 25, if the judge wants to be a legislator and make his or her own law, he can go to the Senate or the House and make laws. But the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made it clear that you must have 25% of the president. Let's explain this a little, make it clearer for your audience. Before you enter any Nigerian university, you must have 5 credits. And those 5 credits must include English. Now, before you become a soldier in Nigeria, you must have 5 credits. You're going to go to NDA or any Nigerian university. Now, assuming that somebody, you must have 5 credits including English, assuming somebody has 7 credits, do you think the Nigerian Defense Academy will hire that person? Will admit that person to study? Do you think ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, do you think they will take the person to study at ABU or UNN or UNILAG? No. For you to study, to enter Nigerian university, you must have credit in English language. It must be one of the same. So it does not matter if you have credits in 8 subjects or if you have credits in 7 subjects. If English is not included, you ain't going in. So, what Mr. President is saying is that he has more than 24 states, that the Constitution says 24, that he has more than 24, therefore Abuja does not count. So can somebody come to Nigerian Defense Academy and say he has 7 credits instead of 5, therefore English language does not count? It's not done. That cannot happen. So it's the same thing. If the university cannot admit somebody who has 7 credits but without English, neither shall Nigeria enthrone somebody who has
I think we are experiencing some network issues. Obviously, what he's trying to, or rather, what he was driving at before the network issue happened, is very simple. That, in his argument, and I want you, my viewers, to actually also understand his viewpoint here. In his argument, that if you do not score 25% of the total vote cast in Abuja, that does not qualify you to be the president of Nigeria. That the constitution is very clear on that position. Now, if you just oppose that to the Abuja residents who have gone to court to have that interpretation, the court actually does not say that the constitution is not right. The court didn't go into determining the case. So for many of us watching that, so that we don't get this confused, the court only said that they do not have the rights. That means they do not have the local standing to actually adjudicate on that matter. Fast forward again, that also it in their considered opinion that this case is frivolous, and that the lawyer should have advised his clients that this case should not be entertained by the court. In this case, bear in mind again that, like in the case of PDP article versus the APC, where you had the double nomination, the Supreme Court, now, on pre-election issues, had to strike that case out. PDP was fine. That does not mean that that case is dead, so that we get this in context here. That case is not dead. What only has happened here is that the court said there is no proof that PDP had suffered any damage. Also, there is PDP is not an interested party in this case. Obviously, PDP is a different party, because at that point it was a pre-election matter. However, just like the case of 25%, Labour Party has it in their case at the presidential election tribunal. The same way that you have that now is the same way that you can see that PDP also has their own. So if we understand these two parts, you would understand that these two cases that many people may misconstrue to be that these two cases has been thrown away. No, that is not the case. Yes, the courts lack locus, those courts in question, but the electoral tribunal, like in the case of PDP, when that case comes back to the electoral tribunal, when PDP brings that up again, is going to be post-election matter. Now, PDP will then have the time to argue how that has actually affected them and how they have suffered injury in here. So if we understand these two things in context, we will know where we are headed to. However, while I'm waiting for my guest to come back, sadly, his network has done, has done certain unfavorable things. Let's also, when he comes back, we will now begin to dwell on the consequences of rigged election. Okay, are there consequences of rigged election, and what are the international implications of this? Are there international implications? Are they consequences? We don't know. So from him, that's Rabbi Chinedu Nwanyanum. He's joining me from the United States of America. I would have wished that he comes back, that we continue on that trajectory to look at the second leg of this conversation. However, you watching me now, if you wish to join me, if you have an opinion as well, you can join me by looking at or clicking at the link in the comment section. And this link, if you have to join me in the studio, please make sure you are in a location that is well lit, and also ensure that I can see your face the way you're looking at my face, so we can have a good conversation, because this platform, we are known for conversation. Okay, so while I wait for him, and I would see if I can reach out to him to rejoin, let's quickly use a short break. So while I'm still waiting for Rabbi to join me back, please do me well. If you wish to be part of this conversation, you can, uh, use the link that I have shared in the section, the comment section, to join me in the studio. I'm waiting for him to quickly join me back in here so that we can complete the international part of that conversation. In your considered opinion, what could be the international implication of a rigged election?
The implication, the international communities are going to react based on what is happening in Nigeria. If Nigeria remains calm, no international organization will question what is going on in Nigeria, because it is the internal affairs of Nigerians. But if Nigeria erupts, if Nigeria stands up for the Constitution, and the international community, especially people doing business in Nigeria, begins to lose business or perceive that they're going to lose something, then the international community will react. The international, if everybody is calm, everybody is going to work, going to school, nobody's going to react. But if the country erupts and start protesting, then the international community will react, because their interest is Nigeria, is their business, the businesses they have in Nigeria is their interest in Nigeria. So if they perceive that they're going to lose business, that the oil will stop flowing, that the safety of the citizens are endangered, then they will react. So now, if there is reaction, then what I'm appealing to at least Igbo people is for them to move to Israel. We are Israelites. You can go to my YouTube channel, Sambation TV. You will see where I'm explaining how we came from Israel, that we are Israelites. Because the problem we are having is that the Bible requires at least 22,000 Igbo people to be in Israel. If there are less than 22,000 Igbos in Israel, what is happening now in our land in Southeast will keep happening.
Sorry for my interjection here. Which part of the Bible has 22,000 Igbos on it?
Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Okay. The name of the rabbi who said it and quoted it is Rabbi Alkalai. Can get the book, or your audience can get the book. It's in the Zionist idea, written by Otto Hesbar. The Zionist idea. It's the book that the Israelis followed for them to get back the state of Israel.
No, sorry, but Mike, you said the Bible. Then I asked a question: which part of the Bible? You said is a book written by a rabbi. So can we establish that that is not in the
I'm looking
Bible?
at the book now.
Okay, can we establish that, you know, what you just said
Sure.
now is not in the Bible, but
Oh,
is
no,
a
no,
book
no, no,
in a
no, no.
book?
I'm not just reading from somebody's book. It's written in the Bible. It's in Numbers chapter 10, verse 36, where it is written, "Return, O Lord, unto the tens and thousands of the families of Israel." On this verse, the rabbis commented on Talmud, on Babylonian Talmud, Yevamot 64a, that for the Holy Spirit to rest on our community, at least 22,000 of us must be in the state of Israel. That's how the rabbis interpret this Numbers 10, verse 36. And you can find the interpretation in Talmud Bavli, Yevamot 64a. So I'm not just making a frivolous statement. It's written in the Bible and in the Talmud, which are the sources for our religious belief.
But the cradle, you know, of human civilization stems from Africa. Then it beats me how the claim will be made that blacks, who are supposed to be the origin of human civilization, are a people that came out of Israel. I would think if any such claim, it would be the other way around.
Archaeologists have examined the Igbo land, and they all agree that the Igbo people came there in the 9th century. So I don't know what your argument is. If we come there 9th century, I don't think civilization or life starts in Igbo land.
Okay,
so all I'm saying is the Igbo people, at least 22,000, need to move to the state of Israel for the Holy Spirit to rest on us. That's what we need. So if there is any eruption because of this election, I'm praying that some people will make aliyah to Israel. Rabbi Akalai was not the only person that said it. Sefer Eliyahu made the same claim. He said that people from Sambation, he made a specific Sambation, we are Sambation Jews. He said that people from Sambation, he said at least at the very minimum, 17,000 must come to Israel for them to start experiencing change.
So how do you, okay, this migration you are talking about, and you are alluding to Sambation, how do you tie this back? How does that, what is the nexus between this assertion and the election that was rigged and the international consequences?
The relationship is that if, say for example, if Nigeria erupts and a lot of Southeast Nigerians begin to show up in the state of Israel, the whole world will get involved. The state of Israel will get involved. They cannot handle such large, they cannot admit many people. The state of Israel is very small, so they will get involved. United States will get involved. Britain will get involved. But if everywhere remain calm, nobody is going to get involved. It's just as simple as that. Politicians, at least in the West, try to solve problems. If there is no problem, there is nothing for them to solve.
Yes, but everywhere has remained calm, and everywhere is calm because as it is, Nigerians may be thinking looking at what is happening in Senegal, where a nation is being destroyed before everybody now, and they will be looking at that and thinking to themselves, what do we want? Do we actually want to get to a point where the nation is in total chaos?
We just have to make a decision. It's either we want democracy or we want monarchy. Monarchy rules dictates. Monarchy and dictatorship goes together, which is what we have now. Democracy and constitution goes together, which is what we don't have now. Monarchy, they will decide who they will pick. Then it doesn't matter whether it is INEC chief or military chief that made the announcement, or INEC chief that made the announcement. It does not matter. They are announcing the decision of the monarchy.
Yeah, but monarchy is hereditary. Monarchy is
what
hierarchy.
we have now in Nigeria is monarchy. People dictate who will be the president, and the INEC announced the choice. So it's the same thing like Sani Abacha announcing coup, or whatever his name is, Gideon Oka announcing coup, or Joshua Dogoyaro announcing a coup. Just because it comes from a civilian mouth, the INEC chief does not make it not to be a coup. Let the audience check the definition of a coup d'etat.
Well, thank you very much. That is the much we can take on this topic. It has been an enlightening moment with you to look at the consequences of these rigged election. Rabbi Yanu, thank you very much for joining me. And once more,
thank you very much.
Yeah.